Team Liquid sits undefeated coming into Week 4. We'll see if they can keep their streak alive as we run into today's matches. Team Liquid, they take to the stage later this afternoon as Optic make their way into the studio. Clear skies here in LA this weekend. It's about time for Southern California. Now they face TSM in that Game 1. Both teams tied in the standings coming into this match. Hello and welcome to the LCS Countdown, where for 30 minutes we follow the trends of the league and preview the day's matches until the timer reaches 0 and we jump into Champions Select. High's back with us. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Better than last week, but still, getting there.
Recharge, ready to go. Your predictive mind is back on the desk. These two still sitting well below you.
They're behind me, right?
Above 50%, yeah.
You're not above 50%. I don't know if we actually have season totals for you, Kobe.
What a lofty goal you're going for.
But I believe you're doing better than Mark. And that's all that matters.
That's what matters.
Yeah, nice.
Someone has to represent rock bottom. I represent rock bottom.
Exactly.
I have a very important
take it
role.
one for the team.
Someone has to be last, right?
Yep.
All right, well, the day kicks off with TSM versus Optic Gaming. Then if we look at our schedule, we see Game 2 as Golden Guardians versus Team Liquid, with Rush and Echo Fox facing off against his old team, Cloud9, later in Game 3. We're going to send it over to the casters, Captain Flowers and Zyrene, who will be bringing you Game 1.
Hello, everybody. I am Clayton Captain Flowers Reigns, and I am joined by my personal Valentine, Mr. Aiden Zyrene Moon. He even took a Twitter quiz. It said we were meant to be.
I tweeted you a little bit too much.
I don't believe it's too much, but hey, that's the way it is. Last week, we saw TSM's owner, Reggie, spell it out after their loss in plain English. TSM has a pro activity problem.
Once again, it's an issue that has been plaguing TSM for a very long time, and this problem, once again, is rearing its ugly head. The only thing different that this time around has is that they're not the inactive TSM fans, or TSM, that fans had lamented previously. TSM are currently ranked #1 in combined kills per minute, which is a stark contrast from their win lane and wait till 40-minute days that they were having before. This team is active. They have gold leads in a lot of their games. In 3 out of their 4 losses, they were ahead in gold at 15. The issue is that they aren't using those advantages and staying coordinated enough throughout the entirety of the game to close it out.
And that's what we're going to be looking for from these guys, is to be able to not only start off strong and be active and be aggressive, but to keep it all tied together and translate properly going into the later stages of the game. That's what we're looking for going into Game 1. But until then, back to you, Dash.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. In the last week, one member of TSM shared his confidence that the team will surge in weeks to come. That member, of course, is Acadian. Some strong and colorful language coming out of this fella.
He's definitely joking. By the way,
I wish they
Come on.
didn't show that last one, so you think he was serious.
Right.
You don't want to show him laughing at his joke.
nobody calls other people peasants seriously.
There's some people out there that do, for sure.
Okay.
I feel like I've
Yeah.
been called a peasant
saying
by
they're right.
some Twitter analysts before, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But to get a better sense, or to better illustrate, rather, his confidence, I am going to send it over to Riv for an overly dramatic interpretive performance. Riv, take it away.
We will smurf soon. TSM wrath will be swift. All these peasants thinking we aren't good. LMFAO! Ha 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 ha!
See? I'm pretty sure that's what was happening on the other side of that computer screen when those words were being typed.
I need Riv to read Twitch chat for everything. Like, do one of the LCS when it's going on.
That would be great. Yeah, we'll have a secondary stream set up, and it's literally just Riv narrating Twitch chat alongside an LCS
There'd be too many
match.
viewers on there then, because I'd be watching that during this.
I like his LMFAO, and then he's laughing his ass off like,
Good fun, good fun. Teams this week, they play on patch 9.3, which is a monster of a patch. So for today, I wanted to focus in on the marksman itemization changes, which could really shift how the entire game is played. Hi, let's start with you. What is kind of one of the single most important things that pops out to you?
Right. I thought an item that looked really cool was Phantom Dancer. They changed it pretty heavily. So they gave a shield, basically, when you get low enough HP on it. And there's almost no reason not to build that item as an AD carry. Before, if you could get the shield from Maw or something like that, it'd be great as well. But now you just get a Phantom Dancer, and that's just great.
And it's not just magic damage like Ma is, so it's kind of just a universally good
It's
defensive
just a free
item
barrier.
now.
It's a free
it
barrier.
is a lifeline, so you can't double stack them.
Good
but
point.
Yet there's no reason not to use this one because it works against all
Yeah,
damage.
it's just better.
Yeah, it's straight up better. And I think what a lot of people are looking at with all these crit changes coming in is like, what are the champions that are going to use them best? And like in the current meta, we were already seeing Xayah and Sivir They have the changes that's coming into the Essence Reaver, and this was the old build that people kind of used to do a lot of the time. They would also have the rapid-fire cannon. The question is, are they going to swap that out now back for this Phantom Dancer that's supposed to be really good defensively? We'll have to see. The only thing worth noting is that the Essence Reaver doesn't have the crit effect that stacks your CDR. Now it's just a flat CDR amount.
Yeah, I'm also interested in if we'll see new champions unlock, because there are more options now. And two of the ones I was looking at, because I was talking to some of the LCS AD carry players, and they were very excited about...
Inside information. He's cheating. He's cheating.
I had to use pro builds.
I know my friends here. They were excited about the defensive options, right?
Okay.
Because the damage output is pretty similar, actually, once you build them up. But if you can incorporate, champions like Ashe that have a lot of utility, you can still go with the Bork Rush, which has always been great. She has super strong lane phase. Then into a Phantom Dancer, then IE, you still get good damage, and you have insane survivability, plus this big utility ultimate that can come from her. Or if you want to go big damage and you play the Jinx team fighting, you can rush the IE still, go with Zeal item into Essence Reaver or double Zeal item based on your choice. You can go Hurricane and Shiv for like maximum AoE teamfight damage, or you can use one of the Phantom Dancer.
I'm looking for the
options.
IE first rush by both marksmen, and then it's just like the trades or who gets the crit first.
Right.
And it's instantly like, all right, back off, I lost.
Double his favorite meta.
500
double
crit,
it.
one hit.
IE
Fun
first,
time.
by the way, is now 120% gold efficient, basically. So it's
Feels
just
good.
great to
So
rush,
you suggest
plus
you get
it
it first
multiplies
item?
your crits. Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you at
I'll do
home
it,
who are
I'll
still
let you.
building BF Sword into Zeal, I think it's pretty much decided that that is not the optimal way to build an ADC anymore. You should rather go into the eye edge. First, Frostfang, we also should note that, of course, there were the fixes to that item. However, we've already seen some regions looking for different workarounds around it to still
People
kind
are
of
too smart.
make it effective in the bot lane. We'll see if that pops out, and if it does, we'll take a moment to talk about it. Not going to wax and wane on it in this moment. We're taking a break. When we return, we look at the weather and ask, is this the best Team Liquid, or rather, is this Team Liquid the most dominant team NA has ever seen? Find out in 2.5. Welcome back to the LCS Countdown. The story of the standings remains the same as they did in previous weeks, with Team Liquid on top, Cloud9 close behind them, and then a crowded field fighting to climb the ladder. But to get a closer look and a better take here on these standings, current state of the league and whatnot, we're going to hand it over to Mark for the LCS Weather Report.
Hello, and welcome to your Week 4 LCS Weather Report. Currently dominating the league, we have a high-pressure system where Team Liquid's going to continue to downpour on the rest of the field. Meanwhile, out in the upper Midwest region, you see Cloud9 is starting to clear up and make way for a low-pressure system that's going to be blowing in from the east. Now, counter logic to what you may think, this clump around 100 Thieves, it's just going to fly right under the radar, so it won't Echo Fox up your weekend. Now, across the country, you're going to see that both bays are starting to feel the heat. They'll be wanting to golden guard themselves from further losses. And if they can clutch out a couple wins, their optics should be clear by Week 9. That's it for weather, though. How's the traffic looking, James?
I don't drive
Oh
to
my
work.
God.
I walk to work, Mark.
Well, we're in LA, Dash, so the traffic is looking bad.
Not on a
I got it
Saturday.
covered.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad
Takes
this
like
morning.
3 minutes to get to the office on a Saturday.
I got to live out my dream of being a weatherman.
Yeah, how was that
I
experience?
bought a Doppler because it was been raining so much recently. I wanted to figure out if it was going to rain on the way to work or not.
You just bought a Doppler?
I bought a Doppler. I mean, we have all these lights and back walls and stuff. I was like, we can be a weather station
We
too.
were one Doppler away.
One Doppler away.
One Doppler. Well,
we
now
did
we're
that
0
pretty well, too.
Dopplers away from being a weather
We're a weather station.
Stay
weather,
tuned
man.
week over week for your LCS weather report. As the conversation, though, begins to brew around how far this Team Liquid squad will go, I want to compare their current form to some of the best teams to ever grace the LCS, starting with one, C9, in 2013.
You know,
Featuring High himself.
I'm not going to be biased or anything, but I think C9 had a pretty dominant record the first time they played around. If Team Liquid could match up to this, I'd be pretty impressed. But I'm going to say they can't because I'm not biased towards C9 for sure. I don't know who that handsome guy on the screen is, but I like this team a lot.
25-3 was their record in the 28-game split. Of course, we're down to 18 nowadays, but a very dominant record as you guys kind of lunged onto the scene. What were your guys' impressions of that C9 squad?
It was just kind of how they came out of nowhere and took over the league. And I remember playing against them when I was coaching with Curse.
Play versus you? Oh, coach.
Yeah.
I don't remember leading this far. I feel like I would remember that.
But they were one of the first teams that was smart about trading objectives. Back then, Dragons were worth gold, and everyone would like all in fight on them. And if they felt like they couldn't win, they would just flip to the top side and take your top turret and trade gold evenly. And for the longest times, people were like, how do we stop this? And they were so strategically ahead of people at that point.
They were also the first team to really dominate a league like that, right?
True.
Because this was the very beginning of the LCS.
Second split.
So it was kind of my, first impression of High and Meteos, and then like creating memes around how good they were.
Right, sticks in your brain because they were the first of the dominant teams on this list. Next up, let's talk about 2016 Spring Immortals. This is another team that came on to the NA scene
Oh, baby.
and just started massacring people.
It was crazy because they took the best parts of Fnatic, who had an undefeated split, put them in North America, and in the preseason, when everyone was scrimming, they were like undefeated in scrims, and everyone was just ready to see if it would translate to stage, and it did. They were so good when they first showed up.
It was insane. The conversation around whenever these guys played was just about how fast are they going to beat the next team. They were running time trials on every single other team in the LCS.
You know, I experienced, on the other hand of things, how dominating they were from first-hand experience in those games and matches. I didn't have that much fun playing it. I remember I'm just playing like Alistar in the bottom lane, and the map just explodes. I'm like, what's happening, guys?
They weren't much of games. They were
Yeah,
just total
I was
domination
just kind of sitting there dying.
from start to finish. Of course, we are isolating to the regular split because that Immortal squad did struggle in playoffs, both spring and summer.
Lucian top! Lucian top!
It's okay, it's over.
I remember!
And while Immortals was also had a strong showing in the regular season in summer 2016, the summer 2016 team I want to talk about is TSM. This was Bjergsen and Dueling.
And this actually is probably the #1 fan favorite team of all time. The Doublelift, Bjergsen, Biofrost, Haunter, Svenskeren. This TSM team got North America's hopes really high for Worlds once again because of how much they dominated in the regular season here in North America.
And I think that a lot of people would consider this one of the best teams because they had so many threats and so many carry potentials and felt like any moment anyone could pop off. And then they went all the way to the Worlds run. It was an unprecedented level of hype for, I think, a North American team that, once again, kind of crumbled. But it was still, like, insane to watch this run.
Right. In the season, they did so well, though. They had, like, the best player in almost every single role. It's like, how do you compete versus that? It's just,
Best and most popular. They're just raking it
they
in.
had everything going for them.
Yeah.
How do you compete versus that?
17-1 split for them as well. Of course, that was match record as we were in best of 3, so important to remember that. But now my kind of question to you is, given this list of teams, this pedigree, where does the current TL, sitting at 6-0, stack up against them?
I think the thing that stands out the most to me right now is that this team isn't winning as fast above league average as some of these other most dominant teams ever, but they actually have the highest kill to death ratio, not including assists. They're at like 2.4, and the next closest was Immortals at 2.1. So they're not murdering you with speed, but they're not making big mistakes either where they're losing team fights or anything like that. I can't think of a single team fight this team has lost.
Yeah. My answer still would be Immortals for most dominant team that we have ever had. They were a full 5 minutes and 39 seconds faster game time
on
average than the entire rest of the league. And as Mark said, they had the second highest kills to death ratio, the highest combined kills per minute in their game. So they were absolutely just murdering everybody.
Would you compare that Immortal squad somewhat to like what G2 did suffer a loss today over in Europe, but similar fashion where G2's been hard smashing people, running time trials in Europe. RTL, which is dominating, not so fast, more measured wins.
Yeah, Team Liquid here, teams can have hope and teams can like formulate plans around the early game probably to try and attack them. So.
Hi, what about for you? You did already kind of throw your weight behind that early C9 squad, but how do you compare this Team Liquid to those other squads we've talked about historically?
Well, I would say we're still early in the season, right? It's only 6-0 at the moment. We have a huge portion of the season still to go. They're looking very dominant right now, but we'll have to see if that's something that continues throughout of it. The teams that we talked about before, went on for like a long time to do well, even after the first.
Mark, do they have to go 18-0 to become the most dominant? What's the metric they have to hit?
I think that's the best case you can make for yourself is doing what no other team here has done before. Even if their deaths are great, if their pace isn't good, they're not going to make that impression.
All right, well, we're stepping away. When we return, I challenge our analysts to play coach in a dueling draft.
Do I get a side stage coach?
You want some help?
Supposed to be assistant
I
coach.
can be your assistant.
No,
All right, Mark isn't confident he wants some help. Can we get him a little help? Anyone?
I get cooked.
Do we have someone to throw behind
You!
Mark on the
Welcome.
stage?
Oh.
Hey, that's the guy I
Somebody,
want.
right?
That's the guy. That's the man.
How's it going, huh?
Come on, come on.
That is the man.
The owner of the notebook, LemonNation.
We have no light on the man. Come stand up here.
right,
People can
okay.
see who it is.
I want this man in my corner.
There it is. The
Wait,
notebook
that's
has
not
made its
fair.
way
I
back
didn't
to
know
the
what you're
LCS
thinking.
stage.
I've known him longer.
He knows what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's cheating.
That's why I need him.
Oh, that's not fair.
It is what it is. It's been decided. Mark gets LemonNation on his side for the dueling drafts. Meet us back here
we got
after
this,
the break.
Goldie.
We'll see how.
Welcome back to the LCS Countdown, where we're jumping into this edition of Dueling Drafts. And a reminder that after it's done, make sure you spam chat with who you think actually won. We'll have a team
Likewise.
comp and all this stuff. But first, before we do that, we have LemonNation joining me. We've already done 2 of our bands. We've got Ornn and Nocturne down. High has done Urgot and Casio, and we're gonna lock in our last band right now, Lemon.
Let's ban out Lucian, actually.
Lucian it is. All right.
You know, I'm gonna say this is a little unfair. I got one person on my side. You guys got 2 over there. It's kind of 1v2. And he kind of knows how to play with me, and he did the pick and bans. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna ban.
I mean, you have the same advantage. You've seen me do pick and ban for a long time.
Right.
You know
But
my
I was
strategy.
the one that did the bans.
Oh, Scion. A lot of the top lane bands.
Yeah. Gotta get someday
so I
uncomfortable.
think, if I remember,
Okay, so there's still Ezreal up, who I
Right.
think is very, very strong in this patch.
I know we were leaning towards
You can first
that.
pick
He's
if
left
you
it
want.
up.
Go for it. Ezreal's open.
I think we
No
should.
banning.
All right. We'll go ahead and take Ezreal with the first pick right now.
I am quite okay with that, to be honest.
All right, well then what do you got?
You know, you left up a pretty strong champion that I banned the counter to, you know?
We'll
So
see.
You might not enjoy that much.
I don't know if that's that strong.
I know, they,
Oh, we shall
I don't know if
see.
he's that big of a deal.
they got
How about
nerfed on
that?
this patch. I'm not quite sure I'm too worried about.
Oh, you banned my Ornn, dude.
Yeah,
I'm trying
no
to give that
support
to my-
Ornn for you.
Come on.
Orange OP for
What a rough
sure.
Yeah. It's all
You got
JJ
Ezreal?
plays too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Very
pick my
underutilized.
Kai'Sa over here.
All right, start working on a front line. Do you know what you want for your next 2 picks?
Well, I think Silas is quite a good pick against Aatrox. I think he's,
Being able to steal the revival.
yeah, and we definitely need our support here. What do you think about Alistar?
I like Alistar a lot. You talked about some of the melee supports you could potentially play with the cheesy Ezreal strat. I don't know if you want to go for that or not.
Yeah, Thresh is also still up, and Thresh
Thresh
is
is
also
open.
quite OP as well.
Give me your 2 picks.
Let's go with Alistar and Silas.
Alrighty. Alistar taken here. Clear this out.
So Silas for the counter to Aatrox and Alistar for the front line.
Is he on here?
The weakest lane bot lane I've seen in my life.
Oh, we don't have Silas added to the board. We're gonna pretend Syndra is Silas for right now.
All right, that sounds good to me.
All right,
Alright.
there we go.
I mean, Ezreal can survive any lane. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah,
I mean, you
he's
win
just,
the lane.
He's just gonna win
You're
the
gonna
game.
trade CS with Kai'Sa? Who wins out on that?
It's Ezreal. He can still go spell thieves, man.
Yeah, we got the cheese.
He's gonna go spell thief Ezreal?
Yeah.
We got the spell
Really?
thief Targon.
Oh, that's smart.
Of course, Braum for JJ. Makes sense.
Hey, how do you know this is a support, Braum? It could be a flex. You ever see Jungle, bro?
All right, yeah, great
on.
bluff
I got
there.
a flex on you with these kind
All right,
of
what
characters.
band do you want?
All right, let's see. What have you not picked? I'm gonna go ahead and ban.
We got top lane open.
Hmm.
Or this is Silas, so that's probably a top lane Silas for you.
Looking at my notes,
We got jungle and probably mid lane. That you
I will ban this champion. Get her out of the game really quick.
That's
because
fine.
I don't really like Hui and Lissandra.
Yeah.
He popped off last time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's run back on Riders.
We can potentially go for some more jungle bands if you want.
Wait, do we have Syndra locked in right
No, that's Silas.
No, that's-
Silas wasn't
she's
on the
not-
board. Yeah, there wasn't a Silas on the board yet, so I had to pivot to Syndra.
All right, let's go to LeBlanc.
All right,
Does
LeBlanc.
that sound good to you?
Yeah, I'm down.
Can I deny that?
No, you can't. We can't ban that.
I veto that ban.
Imagine we were on headsets and we can't hear each other.
I'm not listening, guys.
Yeah, you're banned now. What are you gonna get rid
What do you mean, my ban? You do 2 in a row.
I think it alternates bans still.
Does it? I thought it was
On
1,
the
2,
last-
1.
I think it's your ban. Either way, why don't you go ahead and ban?
All right. All right.
Yeah.
That was ruining my game plan, my friend. What else does Hui play?
There's a couple I'm hoping you don't ban.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's ban this champion.
Zoe? Okay. I'm not too worried about Zoe. It's a scary poke champ, but
All right, what's left for Pobelcha that we want to remove?
I I mean, we can ban that one potentially too.
Right. Well, if I tell them my strat, what I'm banning right now, then
pick one of these
they're gonna
two.
know what I'm doing.
We have to be silent. We have to like point to our notes so you don't hear what we're doing.
I'm not listening. It's okay,
that sounds
guys.
good. Yeah.
You want to ban this?
Yeah, let's ban.
All right, this is going to confuse some people at home, but we're also going to ban Syndra. It looks like a Zoe, but like that's a Syndra ban. So we have a Silas and Syndra's ban. We're starting to have to mix and match a lot of things. So it's your pick.
Not only is your side confusing, you also
we're also making it hard for High to draft by like messing up.
I'm getting outplayed right now.
Yeah.
Quote unquote outplayed. So I'm gonna go ahead and what do I want here? I'm gonna take this character.
Camille. Makes sense. Good for him.
Okay. So I think
We can say the names now because
I'm picking Camille because I like
So
to
there's
engage.
J4,
and
Lee
Torrent's good
Sin.
at it.
J4, Lee Sin. He has played Olaf. Onda does play some Olaf.
all
A
lose
lot more
Camille.
early game. Camille's strong.
I think J4 is the strongest of those.
All right.
So
Jarvan.
We'll grab Jarvan.
I think
over for
he
Onda.
fits pretty well.
And so I would say between the two mages left for Huhi, I really like Orianna with the team comp, lots of engage, or potentially Ryze, because that's his most played champion. I don't know if you have a preference.
What do you think about Galio?
Galio, we can do.
We have the J4.
We have a lot of jump in.
And
Alistar as well.
that's kind of what I was thinking, but
All right, we'll go with Galio. Last pick Galio for us.
we got the big Wombo. We got
a
the Silas
Wombo.
Ezreal late game.
I'm gonna say you just stole my champion. I was trying to combo my Galio with Camille, you know? just hoping
Yeah,
you
it was a
wouldn't
good
get it.
takeaway. It was a
You know?
good takeaway.
That's smart, that's smart. I accept that. So now I have to change my game plan since you took my champion. And then on my board here, we got the Aatrox mid and we got the, who's your top laner? Silas?
Silas is our top laner, yeah.
There's no real counters for Galio.
You don't think so? Have you ever played Galio into Aatrox? Do you think that's a good matchup for him?
Go
Where's this
ahead,
character?
last pick.
Bam.
Ken in top. All right.
Oh.
Ooh, the flex.
We'll go ahead and pull these up. Kobe, James, I don't know if you guys
That's a good pick.
have opinions on this and how the draft
I
went.
need some.
I have quite a few opinions, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna
First
make our
and
way back.
foremost, Mark was very vocally complaining today about how much prep he had to do, but Lemon was helping him and doing it the whole
entire
time.
I had to do it myself too.
He got the notebook on his side. What is this?
It's
I love
2v1.
Can we talk about? We only have 2.5 minutes. Let's talk about the draft.
I feel bad
All right.
for High, but also High, you picked a lot of champions that just got nerfed on this patch. Camille, her stun doesn't work on jungle camps anymore, so it's really hard to take Scuttle Crab, so that's gonna make it really hard for Santorin, I think.
All right, but I also want to talk about the whole concept of having two people, you know, kind of the pick and ban by committee versus, you know, a singular person on the other side. How do we feel about, both from your guys' experience, but as well as in this situation, having multiple voices versus somebody who just has an idea and a directive in mind?
Well, in this scenario, Hai can hear us talking about her.
It's
that
kind of
is-
a handicap.
That is
I
a
didn't hear
little bit
anything.
of a disadvantage, but being able to talk about it as well kind of, you know, balances it out a bit, I would say.
Okay. So then how do you guys ultimately feel about your draft here?
I mean, it's basically, are we going to kill Kaisa on the engage or not? We're not going to really want to jump on an Aatrox with the revive and all that. And it's
Okay.
But I think we have a lot of tools to kill her, so I'm not too worried about it.
I mean, is this a draft that you would have come away from in your professional days, Lemon, going like this? We have the advantage, and now it's our game to lose.
I would say so. I think so. I think
we have, my side, I think I have 3 winning lanes, top, mid, and bottom. I think we have all 3 winning lanes. The jungler is a bit more of a question mark. Yes, Camille clears slower, but you can build a Tiamat, or he can just fight Jarvan. And as we get our level 6 ultimates, we should win team fights as long as you don't kill Kaisa. And it's pretty hard to kill a Kaisa, right? Like, you don't really have CC. You have a Jarvan to ulti here, but she can just ulti out the ult.
We've got 1 minute to go ahead of game 1. This, of course, we'll see in game 4. I'm curious to see if the teams will take some notes here from what you guys threw up on the board. But I do want to get your predictions for the day. So let's throw those up on the screen. See how you guys think today's games are going to fall. First 3, all in alignment. And then, of course, High going for FlyQuest over 100 Thieves. He goes for the team that he drafted for.
Yeah, I mean, I just did their draft for them. If they follow my plan, you know, they'll get the W right there. If they're watching, you know, genius ideas from me.
I was debating the last 2 a lot. I think that these 2 are pretty close, despite
why Clutch?
A lot of people picking the similar ones. Clutch Gaming, I have had a lot of faith in Demonte specifically. And he has shown so much perseverance, I think. And that's the only thing you have to worry about with CLG is Power of Evil in the mid lane. I think he'll be able to weather the storm, and then side lanes will take over.
Well, Mark might be able to gain some ground in that 4th game of the day. For now, though, we're going to toss it out to the battle arena for the call.